And next thing you know, boom, 100,000 views. And I think I was 12 years old getting 50,000 views a day.
Wow. Woo! All right, everybody. This is your boy, My Wand, here at Dash Radio on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Today we got, man, young star. I'm not even going to say on the rise because you've been in this game. You actually got more experience than a lot of artists, probably 10 years older than you. But the son of Spokane, motherfucking Carson Lueders. How you doing, man?
What's good, guys? Man, shout out to Dash Radio for having me, man. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Shout out to you, bro. I always love a real musician, and I don't mean that to knock anyone else I've spoke to this week or this year, but you're like a musician down to the core.
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, music has always been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. So to be able to be doing it as my professional career and living out my dreams like this is just surreal for me.
And doing it in a major way, right? Like you've had tons of moments, and I normally do this a little bit later in the interview. I'm gonna do this at the beginning, where I'm gonna give you a gift. I gift everybody an album from either my CD collection, or I'll go out in LA and find an album. So
no way.
I wanted to give you this album so we can discuss some early moments in your career.
Yo, what is this? He did some research? Okay.
Always do my research.
Oh, yo, this is crazy. It's Keith Urban, bro.
I know.
Wow, man. Yo, good looking, man.
Of course,
thank you,
man.
bro. This is actually so crazy because this is the first CD or album that I would listen to every single night before I went to bed. Man, no joke. I had the CD player on my nightstand, and I would get in bed, like winding down at night. Yo, I would pop this record in right to the CD player, and I would play it every single night. I swear, I know every song. Look, Days Go By, boom. Better Life, Making Memories of. Yo, I just know, like, this is my shit right here.
I knew that was your shit. I looked up what year you were born and like when the album came out. But you actually like
2004.
Yep, 2004.
I already know
You're
it, man.
01. So I was like, that's the album. I had to give that to you because very few people get to even meet their musical inspiration, let alone like sit in a room with them, let alone fucking perform with them on The View.
Yeah, man, that was kind of the crazy first start, man. Keith actually contacted my parents, and they set it up with the producers of The View, and they basically said, we want to fly out Carson to New York, and we want to have him on the show. So what they told me is that I was just a lucky guest that was going to come out and be on The View as a lucky fan to meet Keith Urban, and they didn't even tell me. They told me live on television, we actually want to bring up Carson and interview him and have him perform a song live with his musical idol, Keith Urban.
Oh my God, so, you had no clue.
No, I had no clue. I swear to God, I literally didn't
Wait,
have
there's
a clue.
like layers to this. One, Keith Urban set it up?
Yeah.
Like Keith Urban hit up your parents?
Yeah, well, I mean, Keith Urban and his team had set it up with the producers of The View. And when they started showing the pictures of me as a young little kid, Keith is like, yeah, I know Carson.
Yeah, because you
Let's
blew
bring him up.
Doing a cover of him, right? That got millions of views online.
So I started because initially my parents didn't listen to pop or hip hop. Like they didn't, they just weren't into urban music. So all they would play around the house in Washington was country music.
Absolutely.
So immediately I connected with Keith Urban. Man, this is such a legend. This is my favorite, one of my favorite artists forever. I mean, he will always, I was just playing this record in the car the other day, and I was like, days go by, just jamming out.
I didn't even know any of this. I'm not even gonna lie, I can't sing it with you, but I thought it was so special, and I want to manifest that. You know, you're what, 21?
21 years old.
I did a little bit of math. He was 43 when he did that moment with you. So I think in the next, you got another 20, 21 years, and what's gonna happen is I think life's gonna come full circle. There will be a young kid who does a cover of a Carson Lueders song.
Let's go.
And then you're going to call up whatever the fuck The View is at that time.
Yeah, man, I should do that.
It's going to happen. You're going to inspire
honestly
them.
Kind of changed my life. I mean,
it must have, right?
Yeah,
like
man, it was so
that
crazy.
point, did you know, like, I am a musician?
No,
and this is what I'm gonna do.
I just thought that music was just always so real in my life. You know, nothing was forced. I never picked up the guitar and was like, oh, I want to sing a song. No, I always picked up the guitar with pure joy in my heart, wanting to sing. And from a very young age, my parents recognized that, and they got me in guitar lessons and they got me in vocal lessons because they knew that, you know, my parents aren't musical. My dad can't hold a tune to save his life. I love him to death, but my mom can't sing, my sister can't sing, my brother can't sing. Like, that's where I think it's true gift from God or something where, you know, this doesn't just happen. So I knew that it was for a reason, and I wanted to explore it in that sense to try and, you know, motivate other kids out there to pick up the guitar and to learn a piano, a drum, a guitar, a saxophone. I played saxophone in middle school band.
Damn.
So, yeah, man.
You're multi-talented.
Just looking back at it, I mean, I really don't think anything was unnatural. It was just all natural. And when I started posting covers of Keith Urban, and a couple of them got, you know, a couple thousand views, it was kind of just for friends and family to look at. And next thing you know, boom, 100,000 views. And I think I was 12 years old getting 50,000 views a day.
Wow.
Yeah, man, like it's
I am
crazy.
30 years old and I still can't get 50,000 views in a day, man. Salute to you. No, honestly though, I really think that people probably look at you and say like, oh, he's like a industry plant, or he's like how does he have a record with Quavo? I want people to understand this young man has been grinding for this for the last 10 years. That moment is that crazy to think? It's been 10 whole ass years since you were on The View.
that was definitely a milestone for me when I passed, you know, the decade of making music. And, you know, some people can look back and see, oh, well, he was a young musician. He released records when he was 12 years old. But those records have built a brand for me. And I know I might not be the biggest, you know, musician right now. And we're still growing. We're still growing day to day. And I like to call this just the beginning, man, because this is the first real record I put out with a real plan. I was signed to Def Jam. I don't know if you knew that, but I was signed to Def Jam, and I had a great experience over there, but we just decided to go separate ways, and now I'm fully independent. Dropped the record with Quavo. I got
You're independent?
I'm
and you dropped the record with Quavo?
Yeah, man. Let's go, man.
Industry cats will know why I'm saluting you for that.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I appreciate it. And people can say whatever they want. I really don't receive a lot of hate, which I'm very blessed for that. But I feel like it's a surreal moment to be able to make a song with someone you've looked up to for years, like Quavo, you know, because I transitioned from country music to pop music to evolving a sound and a passion for urban music. So then I was starting to be inspired by the Quavo, by the Migos, by you know, all these different people, and I gotta keep it on the low, but I got more features on the way, man.
Okay, that's exciting, man.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you a few things about your time at Def Jam? Just one little thing about it I'm curious about, because you dropped the record No Caption.
Yeah.
And I remember reading up on it, and you had been working with Timbaland.
Yeah.
But the album never came out.
The album never dropped.
Was there a Carson Lueders and Timbaland album in the works, or was it completed?
Yeah, so I can actually say this about Timbaland. That's my guy number one. I full love and respect to Timbaland. We still have the album. It hasn't gone anywhere. And the craziest thing is there are singles on that album that Scott Storch was a part of. So Scott Storch came in and played piano while Timbaland produced the track. And one of the records with Scott and Tim together has a very big featured artist that just recently went #1 in the world.
Oh, shit.
I dropped it, bro. I had to.
Wait, hold on. Is it going to come out soon, hopefully?
Yo, I mean, the team is really just kind of, you know, trying to strategize right now because we have so much music that we want to drop a couple on myself, so we can't just hit back-to-back feature. But we just dropped the Quavo because we really believe that it's a fun, catchy song for this younger generation, and then we want to follow strong with about 2 or 3 more records. Maybe me to Live by Myself, and maybe we could see a release from this feature late November.
Okay. So, it sounds like it's already planned. This is exciting. So those
No, I'm saying the
sessions.
feature. Yeah.
So those Timbaland sessions aren't gonna go away. Some of those songs.
No,
will
absolutely
still
not. We got a
come out.
record. We were just on the phone with Timbaland the other day, and he's wanted to see what this record does with Quavo, and he wants to build the hype before we just drop the whole album. So
Yeah.
we could be expecting. I mean, if it's some of the songs from Timbaland, some of the songs that I'm making right now, there will be a Carson Lueders album in 2023. I'll tell you that.
Hell yeah. And it sounds like my guy here got a record co-produced by Timbaland and Scott Storch.
With one of the biggest featured artists in the world right now.
I gotta think who it is. Can I try to guess? Can I give you like
Yeah,
three
man,
guesses?
I'll give you 3 guesses. I mean, I can't say yes or no, but I'll tell you if you're in the range.
Okay, 3
Just be
guesses.
strategic.
Strategic. You said -- in the world right now. Is it
He's
he? Okay,
Oh,
we
well,
got he. That
not
eliminates.
number 1 in the world, but he within the past 2 months he had the number 1 album in the world. All genres.
That's damn. I can't even like guess it. Try to think who dropped album.
Starts with a beep.
All I know is something's coming.
Yeah.
Carson Lueders got some real heat coming. I'm glad to know that because I really was curious if those sessions and those records you made with Timbaland, if they were just gonna like go on the wayside and expire.
No, they ain't
Hell
going
yeah.
anywhere. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, very exciting,
Yeah.
man. Well, Toxic is out, and that
Yes,
record,
man.
what I really like about it and what I like about what you're doing is you're not letting yourself get boxed into any one genre.
No.
Because when I listen to you and I,
Yeah.
whole different vibe.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I actually don't get mad. I like you and I a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I caught myself playing that record over and over more than any of your other ones.
I appreciate
But
that.
what I like is that all of your records kind of they fit in its own box.
Yeah.
And so we can't put Carson Lueders into one genre.
Absolutely not, man. Like I said, the cool thing about my musical inspiration is it comes from such a vast, wide variety of music that, you know, I could be listening to acoustic. Ed Sheeran is such a amazing, talented artist in my opinion, and then you could play Lil Baby next, or you could play, the new Quavo album. So it's such a cool variety of what I'm making right now because I have pop music that is just top 100 pop smash, you know, and I have many of those records, and then I have the urban records, and then I have the records where Timbaland hops on and throws a crazy beat on it, and it's like, wow, this shit is crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So there's such a huge, vast variety of different sounds that we're using in this album to create such a cool, different look at music. So, you know, you aren't boxed into one music. You could go country, you could go pop, you could go hip hop, you could go urban, you know, so there's so many different sounds that we're
Yeah.
trying to put into the album to make it as, you know, cool as we can, in my opinion.
I love that, man. I think one thing people online people are always gonna be like, oh, he changed or she changed.
Yeah.
You're 21 years old.
Yeah, man,
this
I'm still
motherfucker
finding
has the
myself.
right to change. You know
I'm just
what
still
I mean?
finding myself. Yeah.
Absolutely. And to me, I think it might be a challenge for you to put the album together because you're gonna have so many songs in so many different lanes.
Yeah.
Do you have a specific genre or lane that you're attacking with this album, or it's just everything
Absolutely.
you feel? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It would definitely be pop, hip hop.
Okay.
It would
Pop,
definitely
pop,
be
hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, there are cool features in this that bring the urban vibe to it. There's definitely singles where I stand alone in an urban track and kind of hold down my own, which I would say that. And there's definitely cool sounds. Like there's acoustic versions of the pop records that take a whole different vibe to the record. So it's a really cool, you know, I really put my head down during COVID and I just said, let me focus on music first because everything else follows the music.
Absolutely. I love that, man.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think it's important to remember that you are a trained musician. Like whether you got trained or you trained yourself, our man here plays multiple instruments. You've been writing original music since you were 10, right? 10, 11?
Yeah, I think I wrote my first song the last week I was 10 years old.
God damn.
Right before I was 11 years old. I was 10.
No one can ever take away the fact that you have talent, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be an interesting journey for you as you kind of go from genre to genre.
You know what? I actually take that back. I wrote my first song, My Dog Buddy, when I was like 7 or 8.
You wrote a song called My Dog Buddy. I'm assuming about your dog buddy
Yeah.
at 7 or 8?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Wow.
wrote one. My first song we ever wrote, or I ever wrote, was My Dog Buddy. And then my mom came to me one day, and, you know, we live on a lake in Washington. And she said, you know, Carson, you love fishing so much. Why don't you write a song about fishing? And, you know, 8-year-old me is like, yeah, I'm going to do that, Mom.
Yeah.
And so we have a song called Big Mouth Bass.
Wow.
Yo,
So
it's
our guy here has been writing music
crazy.
since 7, 8, man. That's nuts. Now,
Crazy.
Rest in peace to Buddy, I
Yep.
assume, right? It's
Absolutely.
been a long time. Rest in peace. Hey, he's been immortalized on record. Do you still have these songs?
I do have the songs.
Like
you could actually
in
find
notes or like the actual
them.
MP3s out there?
I mean, we have the MP3s on
Wow.
our hard drives. But I don't know if it's public right now. I mean, if you want to go check, type in Carson Lueders, My Dog Buddy.
I'm gonna try to find it.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting into this chapter of your career now, fully independent, which I applaud. I respect any independent artist because it's a grind, but
Yeah.
ultimately it pays off way more in the long
Absolutely.
run. But what went behind your decision to? Because you had Def Jam, you were with Def Jam and Mosley Music Group, so you were signed to Timbaland and
Yep.
Def Jam.
Absolutely.
What made Carson Lueders say, you know what, I'm gonna do it independent?
So I think the main factor behind my musical career right now, it really came down to what I wanted to do as an artist. And that's no knock towards Def Jam. Like I said, the people I was working with over there are amazing. They were going through regime changes. We went through 3 president changes. I got signed by Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's manager. Then it changed, and the head over there was Nicki running the pop over there. And then it changed once again to the new guy. Semi-new, Tunji, I think it is.
Yeah.
And so those guys are so cool, and I respect all of them so much. But I just felt that at that time, a few months ago, it was time for me to kind of spread my own wings and make my own decisions.
And how do you like it so far, being
I
independent?
love it, man. It's so nice just being able to hit Jerry and being like, yo, Jerry, let's drop a record. Let's drop a record next week. And he's like, all right, let's get the artwork submitted. Let's go.
Yeah, and you don't have to go through the ladders of approval.
No, you don't have to get approval. Everything takes so long, and that's no knock. I know that having a label partnership is so important and so big because, marketing and all the different departments is so crucial to your career. But at this point in my time, I feel like I'm able to make some of those decisions myself.
Yeah.
And as a team, we have a really strong knit, close team. And we're just excited, man. We have so much on the way, and there's so much to look forward to.
Absolutely, man. No, I know it's super exciting when you get to finally. Yeah, shout out to all the independent artists, man. But it's really exciting when you get to make all these calls, and then if for better or for worse, at least you can grow from everything, and you're never gonna blame the label. You're gonna be like, okay, that was on me, and this is what I can do better next time. Now,
Facts.
You've been in this motherfucking game for a minute, man. And one thing about you that I really respect is you are self-made.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to constantly say this because I think people are going to make the mistake of assuming that you are some like kid who just, the industry's been planning you for 10, 15 years.
No.
Like, nah, you're a self-made. From my research,
You know what?
You were uploading videos on your own.
Yeah.
And Keith reached out on his own, him and his team.
If it wasn't for my earlier days where I was dropping the covers and the records, building my core fan base all across the globe, I think another stat, and I'm not trying to brag here, but I think I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I had listeners on YouTube from over 102 countries.
Wow.
So at such a young age to have over 100 countries listening to your music, that's where I said in my mind, am I going to go to college or am I going to pursue music full time? Am I going to really focus on this or am I going to go out and party with my friends? So that's where it really comes down to how bad you want it. And a lot of people could say, industry plant. I got a little bit of a hit back from the recent promo video I did with Floyd Mayweather. you know, they were like, damn, how much did he drop on that? Damn, how much did he do for that? It's like, bro, that's free. That's
your guy.
That's family. Floyd Mayweather is. I've known Floyd for over 5 years now. So
well, that's the thing is when people are hating on you, it's a good thing. That means you're doing something right. You're doing something where other people are so jealous of it that they're willing to try to tear you down.
Right, and that's no brag to say, oh, look at me and Floyd Mayweather.
No, that's bragging. Man, you should brag about that. If I knew Mayweather, I'd bring it up every day.
But it's more about, you know, who you are trying to represent yourself as. And I'm not trying to come out here and be, oh, yeah, look at me. I want to just educate the people about myself, so when they look at these videos, they realize it's all relationships. None of this is, I mean, sure, obviously, in order to put out a record, you have to put some into marketing, you have to put some into mixing, mastering, everything to get the thing done. But at the end of the day, man, if I have one piece of advice for any musicians out there, keep your relationships in check. Check on your friends, check on the people that are helping you out, check on your close-knit circle, and don't offend anyone because, you know, at the end of the day, relationships are everything, man.
Absolutely. I always say don't burn a bridge because it's much easier to cross a broken bridge than to rebuild one you burnt down.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? So that's great that you know that now. Who are some other like cats that Carson Lueders can just call right now? You can call Timbaland, you can call Floyd. I'm sure you can you call Keith?
Nah, man, I haven't talked to Keith in a while.
Oh, come on, Keith. Come on, man.
I'm going to get him someday. I'm going to get his phone number.
Okay.
One day that what was the question?
Yeah. Who are some other folks that you can just hit up or people that are in your sphere of influence?
DK Metcalf, wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks.
From the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Big ass DK Metcalf?
Yeah, I was just FaceTiming him the other day.
That's fire, man. He won me my fantasy football game a few weeks ago. I played Geno Smith and hit him with that bomb.
Let's go, man.
Geno Smith's your boy?
Yeah, I was on FaceTime with Geno as well.
Tell Geno I picked him up in my fantasy league 3 weeks ago, and I have not lost since.
Hey, man, Geno's on fire, man. Hey,
Geno is killing
Shout out to Geno Smith. Hey, he never wrote back.
Yeah, you're a Seahawks fan, huh?
You wrote him off, but we ain't never write back.
Yep.
Shout out Geno. Come on.
Shout out Geno, bro. So as a Seahawks fan, right, as I can assume you're a Seahawks fan, does it make you so excited to see Russell Wilson suck in Denver?
Yeah, man. No hate to Russell. I actually really like Russell Wilson. I actually think that Russell Wilson is one of the most talented quarterbacks that I've watched. I wish that he threw the football in the middle of the field more. He needs to take more risks. But I love who he is as a person. I love everything, his faith, I actually really do like the guy. So I wish him nothing but the best. But I'm turned up right now because I'm looking at Geno Smith and Metcalf and Lockett.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker and all these younger guys.
Penny.
Rashad Penny, shout out to him. I mean, heal up soon. Kenneth Walker, our new draft pick. Boya Mafe, all those guys. Charles Cross. All those guys follow me. So
you're like a real deal Seahawks fan.
Yeah, no, I was in DK Metcalf's suite for the opener.
Oh, that's fucking fire, man. That's fire. If I ever come to Seattle, I'm hitting up Carson Lueders.
Hey, man, hit us
and I'm
up,
starting all the Seahawks on my fantasy team.
Let's go, baby.
But back to the music, man. You just dropped the video for Toxic.
Yep.
Video looked big. Yeah, it was big. That's the one way I'd put it. I love when an artist puts time, not necessarily just money, but time, effort, and resources into a music video. It's exactly what you did.
Absolutely, man. I think it's very important when you're making a visual to a song to make it interesting, make it fun, make it bright, and really appeal to what your fans want to see. And that was our main focus with Toxic, to make a fun, cool video where you can put a light spin on being toxic. You know, you don't always have to be that toxic person that will come out and say, you know, so-and-so did this, and that's why I'm judging this person for this. No, rather than take a light spin on, I only fell in love because she's toxic, because I love that, because I love what she's doing in my life, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So that's where we tried to put a spin on it and make, you know, we had Bankroll Hayden, another up and coming. Well, he's not up and coming. He is.
Yeah,
he already done it. So I mean, shout out to Bankroll Hayden. That's my boy. He came out for the music video, and then we did the cartoon versions with Quavo because we wanted to put a video game in the music video.
Ah, that's fire. That's
The
fire.
metaverse and that whole type of
yeah.
new vibes. So
Well, you've always been ahead of the curve, man. I wanted to make sure we highlight the fact that you were banging out videos on YouTube before artists knew what to do with YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube
man.
now is a huge tool for every artist's career.
Yeah, I feel like YouTube has just changed so much. I mean, it was a little stressful. This is a funny little thing. This morning, we actually got an email from Vivo or from one of our distributors, and she said, you know what, Vivo actually is having a glitch right now with YouTube, and it was like, wait, so the video's not coming out. And we were all just like, I had done like promo after promo after promo, 9 o'clock, PST, 12 o'clock, noon, Eastern. So I was so set on this 9 o'clock release, and then all of a sudden getting the email, I could literally show it to you, where it says, you know what, Vivo is glitching right now, and your music video is not coming out. And then like 30 minutes later, we were calling, we had all of our reps just hitting up Vivo, so luckily we were able to make it happen for the 9 o'clock release. So
oh, hell yeah, you made it happen.
It was a weight lifted off my shoulders.
Welcome to being independent.
Yeah,
you know what
man,
I mean?
that's what I'm
That's
saying.
what happened, man. Def
And
Jam was
having a
probably
close-knit team.
Def Jam was probably baller blocking, as we say. They were probably trying to hold. No, I'm playing.
Nah, man, it's all love to Def Jam and all the guys out there, man. Shout out to you guys.
You seem to have a real great energy about you. I have a
Thank
good
you, bro.
feeling that as your career continues to grow, you're just gonna keep building on these relationships.
Yeah.
I could really see you eventually like having your own label with artists under you.
Man,
The
that's
leaders,
not the
you know
plan.
what I mean?
I don't know what it is. The leaders are incoming.
Yes,
That's
yes.
a dope name.
You know.
Leaders.
So what are we thinking for this project? Toxic is out.
Yep.
Are any of the other records that you dropped last year or the year before going to be part of the project?
No, they actually aren't. Toxic is the only record that is on the album. You
So-
and I is a single.
You and I, no caption, none of that's going to be on
None of
there.
that. No, this is a whole new vibe. 2023, we are coming in hot.
Okay, so 2023 is when we can expect the Carson Lueders album.
Absolutely.
Is it going to be your debut album?
Yes, my debut. It's my first ever album.
Ooh,
That's gonna be hot.
that's gonna be
We
dope,
are coming
man.
in with about a 3-piece spicy singles, and the rest is gonna be the album.
Okay, that's super exciting, man. I know your fans. A lot of people have been watching your journey for 10 years now. There's people who've been in it for maybe 8 years, 5
Yeah.
years, 3 years. People who just jumped in, but I know they're all gonna be so excited to finally get this debut project.
Man, I'm so excited.
Because I'm sure your fans were hella hype after No Caption, and they were like, "Ooh, the album's coming." But then I think
And then we hit a little curve, and I
everything is
couldn't
meant to
release
be.
music, man.
COVID came too. I think it
So
was meant to
crazy.
be, honestly.
So crazy.
I honestly think it was meant to be because now, when you do drop your debut project, you can actually go tour it. You wouldn't have been able to tour.
And I'm
I know
actually
it's-
already, we are already booking for shows now. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What are some cities that you're excited to hit up?
Miami, I love Miami. All my guys out in Miami, shout out to you guys. I want to hit the club scene for a little bit. I'm 21 years old.
My guy just turned 21. He's so
New York City,
Okay.
Chicago. Chicago is my second biggest streams on
Really?
Toxic.
Wow. They love it.
Dallas, DC, Tennessee.
All the C's. DC, Tennessee. That's all I can think of. But
I want to go back home to
of
Washington.
course.
Shout out to Alabama. Man, these streams are going crazy right now. So
Well-
this is another fun little fact. I hadn't dropped music for over a year, which I absolutely killed my Spotify. I was at 26,000 monthly listeners a month ago. And under a month, not even a month ago, 26,000 monthly listeners 3 weeks ago. And we gained over 100,000 monthly listeners in less than 2.5 weeks.
Wow, just off the release of
Just
Toxic.
off the release of Toxic and
Which is
some of the new people.
that
coming
record
in.
feels good. One thing I really it kept cracking me up in the record was when Quavo was doing the classic Migo ad libs
Oh,
over
I love
your
those.
voice.
Man.
So you're sitting there like she's toxic, and he's like,
Toxic!
Yeah.
No, I love the last one. He goes, Toxic!
That must have felt hella cool. Now, I don't mean to get into any controversy, but you know him and Sweetie had a very public breakup.
Yeah.
And recently on the Quavo and Takeoff album, he alluded to Sweetie, hooking up with Offset. That's what the internet's saying. That's what Twitter's saying.
That's just so crazy, man.
But do you think he addressed any of his Sweetie situation in the song? Or I felt like Toxic fit, like he's going through it in that sense.
Yeah, I like the line where he says, "You a good girl, know you lying, cause you so toxic." I like that line. And I also just love, "Who brought the G6 to the party?" So those are my two favorite lines.
I felt like one of the reasons Quavo probably liked the record and was willing, because Quavo could have easily told Carson, no matter what you were going to pay him, he could have easily been like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I think part of why he liked the record, I think in his life right now, it made sense for him to rap about getting into a toxic relationship.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be all focused on his relationship, but I actually like his new album. Shout out to Only Built for Infinity Links. Quavo and Takeoff. I think that's a great, strong album. I'm super happy and excited for them both. And my favorite song on there is Chocolate.
Okay. I got to go.
Featuring Thug and Gunna.
Oh, Free Thug, Free Gunna, man.
Yeah, man.
300, we're like really tight with them, so we try to support them in anything, man. All right, man, what is up next? So Toxic video just dropped today.
Yes.
What's on the horizon? What are you going to drop? You said...
So we got new music on the way. We're actually dropping a new record. It's actually called Plans for You.
Okay.
Plans with the letter 4 and then U.
Okay.
And it's a dope, just feel-good record. It's a little bit more in the urban space, and it's a cool vibe to it, man. I'm really excited to drop that next single and see what it does. And we're actually going on the road here soon, and we're heading back out to Atlanta. We have to just hit press in Atlanta, New York City, and Miami. So
the major markets.
Major markets, and just going hard and just getting out there and get my name out there. Because a lot of people don't really know how long I've been doing this. They just see the one single and they say, who's this random kid? Or
no, and anytime
21-year-old now.
Anytime you see, artists you're not too familiar with and they're next to a big name like Quavo. Yeah. I even initially assumed, I'm like, oh, he's like label plant. They're trying to, and then when I did my research, I was thoroughly impressed. That's why I was so down to do this. Because I'm like, no, he really built this on his own. Yeah. And now you're fully independent, so you're doing it on your own. Even if you weren't, I still would have had respect. But if there's anything anybody takes away from this interview, it's that you are a very talented artist.
Oh, I appreciate
to the core.
That.
And I think you should be given the freedom to express yourself in any genre, in any lane.
Absolutely.
But some of your earlier fans, have they reached out like, hey, you kind of sound different now? Or
yeah, you know what? I was just reading some comments earlier today, and it was kind of cool to see some of my day one fans just being like, wow, I'm in awe, I'm in shock. This music video is representing a whole different side of you. You've grown up, you're 21 years old, you're showing girls, you're showing cars, you're showing, it's just a whole different vibe now. And that's what ultimately drives my motivation and my excitement for releasing this music, is purely the fact that I've evolved with some of my fans, and now I'm just gaining, slow and steadily gaining more. That man, I mean, there's no real ceiling for me right now. So it doesn't make sense for us to just sit here and chill when we just have so much going, and we have that drive and dedication to where we just want to drop music. We were pulling into the parking lot here, coming for this interview, and what were we talking about? Drop music. What's the next one? What are we dropping? Is Plans for You submitted? What are we doing? Yeah. Man, I'm so excited.
That's exciting, man. Do you ever intend on dabbling back into your country roots?
Absolutely. I think that's gonna be. We have a country crossover record, country and pop crossover that we are really excited for, and I'm not gonna give away a name for that right now, but it's very catchy. And it gets stuck in your head.
Okay, so it's on some like Nelly, Tim McGraw type shit.
Yeah, man, it's just a super dope like Kane Brown vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. Sounds dope though.
Yeah.
I want to manifest one last thing before we jump out of here. You and your guy Keith Urban are gonna make some records together.
Man, hopefully one day we can make it happen, man. These songs, hold on, I gotta look at. I'll look at that later. This is so dope, man. I really appreciate
Of
you.
course,
bro.
man. That is
It's
for you
all
to
love,
keep.
man.
Carson Lueders, Toxic with Quavo is out now.
Yes, sir.
Video just dropped. And if anybody has anything negative to say about the kid, go do your damn research. Because this motherfucker blew himself up at the age of 10, 11. So all those 25-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old people hating on the internet, what the fuck were you doing at 11? That's what you got to ask yourself before you give
No,
Carson
man, it's all
Lueders any
love, though.
flag.
To you guys, I appreciate you guys for taking the time to check it out. Whether you love it or hate it, man, I love all you guys, and I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for listening to the records and checking out the videos. So it's all love, man.
I love that, man. You got a great head on your shoulders. Everybody, Carson Lueders from now to infinity.
Let's go.
Whether it takes another 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you are going to be a absolute superstar. I can see it.
Thank you,
You got
bro.
the drive.
I appreciate it.
You got the hustle. You started this yourself, and you're going to get there on your own.
I appreciate
or
it, man.
whatever.
Hey, the world is only the one thing I have to say to those people out there that are trying to get into the music industry. I say this is such a fertile time to get in. It doesn't cost a lot. If you're an independent artist, drop the music you want and follow your dreams, man. I know that sounds cliche, but really, I want to manifest to you guys right now. If you guys have a drive to do this or write music, start with a $50 mic. Start with it doesn't take much to just get into this and really pursue your dreams. So, man, shout out to every single one of you guys that are really trying hard to sing, to rap, to dance, to play the instruments. Man, shout out to you guys because it's so important for this younger generation to have us musicians.
Absolutely, man. Keyword musician. I love that, man.
Let's go.
Carson Lueders, thank you so much for coming in. You know Dash already has Toxic in rotation.
Let's go,
We're
baby.
going to keep that motherfucker in rotation, and I can't wait for you to keep dropping. I'm excited just to see where this leg of your career goes.
I'm going to tell you who the feature is once we cut it.
All right, sounds
I got
good.
you.
All righty, everybody. This is your boy, Maiwan, Carson Lueders, Dash Radio. We're out. Boom.
Love.